Live from the home of cord cutters everywhere, you're listening to Techies talking tech. You ruined the intro. You ruined the intro.
You're good. Go for it.
I'm bullshit.
Don't worry. Do I have a mute button?
Nice.
I have a mute button for him too. I may not bring him back.
He's saying you're number one.
We're number one. We're number one. Okay, let's try this again.
Okay.
Live from the home of cord cutters everywhere, you're listening to Techies Talking Tech Tonight, colloquially known as T4. I'm your host, Trey Comstock, and today is April 22nd, 2014. With me this week is gaming editor Stephen Doss.
Woo woo!
And if he remembers to unmute himself, executive editor Jimmy Principe.
Of course I unmuted myself.
Yeah, I had my doubts.
I know how to operate this technology.
Yeah, no, you don't.
What is technology?
You certainly don't know how to operate it in a timely manner.
That's probably true.
Yeah, it is. So this is our freeform show where we talk and swear about whatever technology happens to occur to us. So this is not a news show. It is
Good
often.
Lord, it's not a news
It's
show.
also wildly unfactual.
Exactly. Did you know that the Buddha played Uncharted Drake's Odyssey?
Drake's Fortune.
Drake's Fortune.
Yep.
For
Nope.
17 hours straight.
It's
and
an 8-hour
that's how he
game, so
became a
that's-
bodhisattva.
That's he must have been playing on Extreme. So Steven, speaking of Extreme, what's new with you?
Oh, yes. So.
So
I was on the... Never mind.
The games are made up and the points don't matter. I don't understand.
Woo! Anyway, so right now, currently sitting in my PlayStation 3 at home is a game that...
a game, yes.
Yes, it's usually a game.
I'm told that that's what happens.
Oh, it
Sometimes...
could be also be a Blu-ray.
Sometimes it's the Blu-ray of Sound of Music. I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves.
Or the porn version.
What's the porn version called?
Oh crap, I don't even remember.
XXX Sound of Music.
Oh,
The sound of horny music.
no, it has feel in the title. It's like...
Feel the sound of music.
It's like it's like feel the sound of music or feel the sound of night. It is just a porn version of Sound of Music, complete with singing. But anyways, I digress.
The hills are alive.
Look, this was like 15 years ago. I don't remember.
Damn it, Trey.
Anywho, we need to get on that. You said fact checking is the death of podcasts.
I've
So
said that
get
before.
in your iPad and search
You
for...
talk about your guilty pleasure, and I'll look up mine from when I was 12.
Okay, so I've just
Don't Google it.
read some reviews and I was like, this game looks pretty awesome. I wanted a good fighting game, so I went and I got WWE 13.
Yes.
And it is a really good game. I really enjoy it. Am I embarrassed to say that I am a 30-year-old man who is playing WWE 13 on my PlayStation 3?
I don't know. You said it publicly on the internet, so
Also,
not.
given like the demographics, like given the amount of back content that they've loaded into the new WWE television thing, streaming offering, they know that you are playing that game.
Yes.
Or why else would they have like WrestleMania 15 available to stream on the internet? No kid watching wrestling right now cares about the Attitude Era or WrestleMania 15 or anything like that.
Although
I really need to watch more wrestling to be on this show.
Although the triple ladder match between the Dudleys and the Hardys and Edge and Christian at WrestleMania 17, epic. When I was in college, I had a friend who was a huge wrestling fan. And he bought the entire, the complete WrestleMania collection. Like, every single WrestleMania
That's
ever.
intense. To actually own that, and then,
So you can actually watch Roddy Piper and Brutus the Barber Beefcake versus Hulk Hogan and Mr. T. And then you can go on and watch, Mr. Perfect versus Macho Man or something. I don't know.
Okay, so I did not successfully find the name of the porn version of Sound of Music, but I did find something called Schindler's Lust.
Oh!
That's
morally questionable.
That should be the show title, but I can't bring myself to do
Please
it.
don't. Please don't.
Do it.
Schindler's Lust.
Oh my goodness.
The show may go up about an hour later than it normally does.
We're going to spend the rest of this time discussing inappropriate porn titles of Holocaust movies.
I can't.
No.
Go on.
No.
This is why we don't fact check on podcasts.
I was like, Trey's gonna go look up what the title of a porn movie is on his iPad. That can't possibly go wrong.
Schindler's Lust. Oh my god. So keep talking about
you know what's gonna happen is someone's gonna be like, oh, I found this on this podcast that I was listening to. Oh my goodness! And they're gonna watch it too.
This is not safe for
And
work.
ironically, the rate his career is going, Ben Kingsley will be in it too.
That dude's in everything.
He was in Blood Rain, okay?
He was. So, like, back to my point. Wrestling, I think WWE in particular, part of their genius is their marketing ability.
Yeah.
And they know that 30-year-old men like yourself and,
most 30-year-old men who grew up with it, they watched it when it was cool.
Right. And arguably, when we were growing up specifically, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
As wrestling go. Right? For wrestling.
Yeah,
this is a giant caveat. For wrestling.
You knew it was...
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
knew
say,
it
I don't
was,
know what you're talking about.
You knew it was fake, but then it was actually like the charisma was there and stuff, so that you're like, they were like, oh, it can't be fake. Well, I like how it's a deep voice of my, 7-year-old self. This is how I sounded when I was 7 years old.
You were you were slightly manlier then than you potentially are now.
Let's be honest. I just discussed the Sound of Music being in my Blu-ray player.
And I was the one looking for the porn version. There's something wrong with me.
Anyway.
That's verifiable.
So I was just thinking about, WWE's got a great marketing strategy. It's like the people who can afford to pay the $10 a month are going to pay it for.
Let's clue, probably our general audience doesn't know, but WWE now has their own kind of $10 a month streaming option.
Yeah.
What is it actually called?
It's called the WWE Network.
There we go. And it's actually powered by the same streaming people that do the MLB.TV.
Yeah.
So it's got
I swear to God, Trey, if you say Azure Cloud, I'm going to slap you.
I don't actually know what their server architecture is, but they used to use Silverlight, and so that makes me suspicious.
Yeah, no, you're probably right.
So I'm probably right. But, and so it's really powerful and has, a ton of the back catalog stuff. Not just the pay-per-view stuff like WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, but also more the weekly shows.
Yeah, you can search matches by wrestler except for Chris Benoit because of what he did.
Well, there's
City.
There's a few other ones that don't have current contracts at WWE that they're a little awkward about. Yeah. Macho Man Randy Savage being one of them, that there's kind of an awkward relationship there.
Yeah, but he's making a comeback. He's starting to get more stuff because he was awesome.
But so they have this and the pricing's really interesting. So normally a wrestling pay-per-view, so wrestling WWE every month has a pay-per-view, and they're $50-$60.
Yeah.
Like the old school pay-per-view model. Right. Yeah. So for $10 a month, you get all of the pay-per-views live streamed. So for $120 a year, when you have to sign up in 6 months in an increment. So basically for $60, you get 6 months of stuff that would normally cost a lot more than that. And all of this back catalog stuff. If you're really into wrestling, or used to be really into wrestling, this is a pretty good deal.
Well, it's almost more of a move away from the pay-per-view and
which
going
is
just
super arcane.
Yeah.
Okay, screw that. We're just going to go to online.
Yeah.
We're going to test this out and see what kind of pickup we get, and if we get a good showing, then we're just going to dump the pay-per-view.
No, and I don't claim to be
pay-per-view words.
And I don't claim to be any kind of expert in this, but I have recently picked up listening to the Power Bombcast, a giant bomb podcast devoted exclusively to wrestling.
You finished the back catalog.
I finished the entire back catalog of the normal Bombcast all the way back to 2008.
Oh my goodness!
I finished all of them. I listened to all of them, and so I've been looking for podcasts, and this has led me down a rabbit hole where I've now listened to 12 episodes of the Power Bombcast. And so that when they talk about it, you get this incredible value for money, and it gives them a consistent revenue stream.
Yeah.
Rather than 4 people going together on a pay-per-view and just watching it at one dude's house.
Yeah. You
now get each of those 4 dudes giving you $60 every 6 months because they want all of the live streaming and the back catalog and all of this kind of really cool stuff. And WWE owns all the back catalog for WCW.
And ECW.
And ECW. And all of these, kind of different, smaller wrestling promotions, to use the technical term.
Yeah,
I'm learning a ton from this podcast, I really am. And so it's this really cool streaming thing that, again, is kind of partially aimed at the
older crowd.
The older crowd, the
they know
30-year-old men.
Yeah, they know that the dads are going to be at the events buying their kids the T-shirts for all the favorite wrestlers, like Johnny Wrestle Guy.
John Cena.
John Cena, yes, that's his name.
What's the name?
Johnny Wrestle Guy.
Johnny Wrestler Guy, which is basically John Cena.
And see, I grew up with, like, Macho Man, Randy Savage, and Hulkamaniacs.
Hulkamania.
And the Ultimate Warrior, who just passed away.
He passed away last week. May his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
And he did actually change his name to Warrior.
He did.
So, like, it's not disrespectful to the dead to refer to him as Warrior.
We're not going to call him Bob. Hell.
The Ultimate Warrior, who was a wrestler prominent when Stephen and I were younger, but probably before your time.
Because you're 12, Jimmy.
Legally changed his name to Warrior.
Yeah.
Like, that is now...
He was the Warrior.
So he literally became the Warrior.
Yeah.
Became Warrior. So I would love to see that driver's license, Warrior, comma, Ultimate. Well, Mr. Warrior, Ultimate, it's the Ultimate Warrior.
Listen, Warrior.
As you make the sacrifice to give me my...
So you've been playing back on topic.
Yeah.
You've been playing WWE 13. What do you think of it?
It's actually really fun. Like, I'm currently started the Attitude Era mode. It starts off with, like, the birth of DX, which is apparently when the Attitude Era started, I guess.
Okay.
I always thought the Attitude Era started with the Vince McMahon Stone Cold Steve Austin feud, but that's just me.
That's probably when, like, you kind of clued
that's when
into
when I saw kids coming to school with wrestling T-shirts, I'm like, what's that?
Like, I think it's
difficult.
difficult.
Stay up and watch WTTO 21 and watch this WWF show.
Right, and that's back when they were also the World Wildlife Federation. That's a great lawsuit. But yeah, I mean, kind of wrestling history is kind of always clouded for us, right? Because
you gravitate it with your context, but it's a really fun game. It's like going through and, like, listening to all these stories, because, like, it's pretty much what you're doing is you're playing through a DVD. Like, a lot of times the WWE, I almost said WWF, but it's not the World Wildlife, will give you DVDs of Panda Bears and
really depressing calendars.
Well, they give you DVDs that are, like, part documentary, part, like, these old school matches, and so it's like you can watch the rise and fall of WCW, where they do, like, this is where it came from, look how awesome it was, and then they decided that they wanted to have the Kiss Demon be a wrestler. Or
fascinating.
Yeah, or, like, about specific ones, so you can read about, like, dude I watched growing up, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
About how, like, and it's like, and you get to see matches that he was in and stuff.
He now does, like, a weekly wrestling podcast.
Really?
Yeah, where he interviews, like,
Stone Cold Steve Austin, friend of the show.
Yeah, I mean, we could have him on. He podcasts, so we could Skype him in.
Let's see if I can do my Stone Cold Steve Austin. Well, you know something.
That's actually not bad.
Trey Comstock, you son of a bitch. I came over here and whipped your ass. That's what I did all the way down.
Okay, brother.
Jimmy Principe. You look like a stone cold pussy. That's what you look like.
Fascinating. Can I call you Stone? So Stone.
Yes, that's right. You come in here with your John 3:16s, we're Austin 3:16s, and I just whipped your ass, boy.
This is a great show.
Anyway, so yeah, it was really fun. It got me thinking about what are some games that you didn't expect to be great, and that you played just on a whim.
Did we do this last week?
No, we didn't.
That was games that we thought that are actually bad that we enjoy. This is apparently games that have social stigma attached that we actually enjoy. It's a slight variation.
For example,
on the theme.
Maybe
Trace would be Persona 4 GoldenEye.
Anytime it's a game question, Persona 4 GoldenEye.
I got that one.
No, but I mean, for me, I think it is, my love of JRPGs.
Yeah.
And specifically Pokemon. Where if, like, if you want to talk about something that's, like, a guilty pleasure for me, that there's, like, a social stigma attached to, it is, JRPGs that tend towards either training small animals to fight each other, or JRPGs that are also dating simulators. In the case of Persona 4
I told you all about the Indiegogo, which was a JRPG that had like, or was it Kickstarter or something, where it was a Nazi schoolgirl.
No. What?
Okay. So
I thought
I talked about this, but then figured out this is not one of my guilty pleasures. I am not into.
We don't judge.
Maybe you did tell me what this game. Maybe
basically, someone is doing a translation of a Japanese game that people have paid. Like, I think they've given him like he's fully funded and stuff.
Oh, shoot.
Where basically you are trying to date women.
Okay.
Japanese schoolgirls, of course.
Yeah, always.
That's all right. Okay.
Wait. One caveat, though. They're members of the Third Reich.
Plot twist.
Plot twist.
I don't think I ever played that one.
Am I also a Jew? Because that would make it really...
That would make it really, really bad.
Let me talk to you about Schindler's Lust.
I think that has to be the title now.
I don't want it
to be the title.
I really can't think. Maybe the title of the show is the title of the show is not Schindler's Lust.
Well, all I have to say is just, again, do a Google search for it.
Not now. So, Jimmy, what's your guilty pleasure game?
Oh my God. I can't. For gaming?
We broke Jimmy.
It's gotta be Pokemon.
Yeah, I think
that's like... That's the one that comes to mind for me.
You have to keep in mind how much Twitch plays Pokemon the two of us watch.
Oh my gosh. I would just... People would walk up... So at work I have 3 monitors. People would walk up and it'd be like, my drafting program, my email, and Twitch plays Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean, here in the studio, like, I do a lot of the editing stuff on the MacBook Pro.
Trey would text me.
I would text him with updates because I would just have it going in one of the small monitors here in the studio. I would just be watching it constantly. It really changed my life and my perspective on religion.
I was on there when
I'll praise the fossil.
when they went for the they were going for the
Final Four. That was intense.
Yeah.
I mean, Anarchy almost won out, but
they died so many times.
Finally, democracy won out in the end, and I'll praise the Onyx Fossil, and it was great.
Go Bird Jesus.
Go Bird Jesus.
I did actually, in honor of Bird Jesus, I did actually catch a Pidgey and name him Bird Jesus.
I did also, in my playthrough of Pokemon X, also had a Bird Jesus. It was not a Pidgey, because I discriminate against Pidgeys, but anyways.
I can be a Pidgey hater. Nobody likes a Pidgey hater.
I am officially a Pidgey hater. See, this really went not where you were hoping. This has got to be better.
Everyone's like, oh, I always thought we would get some obscure references or something like that. Like, someone might have said, oh, Leisure Suit Larry.
See, I have played
point-and-click adventures.
2 Leisure Suit Larry games, always thinking they're going to be, this is going to be awesome and kind of sexy. And you know what? They're not.
They're point-and-click games. They're not meant to be sexy. That's the point of them.
No, but they're terrible and they're not funny. I've played a couple of them. See, though, that doesn't really get me. I mean, for me, it is possibly just Persona 4 Golden.
I have to look at my Steam library now.
Because, I fell down that hole hard and clearly got way too invested in the dating simulator aspect of this. Because when I finally had to break up with several digital women, I really felt bad. I'm just sitting there alone in my living room with this heart-dropping feeling, like that time in high school when I had more than one girlfriend and that all fell apart. And I went back to that really dark place. It's like, oh man, I just hurt all of these digital women. So yeah, I would definitely call Persona 4 a guilty pleasure for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of what else.
Oh, there was a game that you ran a TV studio. That was one of my guilty pleasures. Smash TV.
Smash
TV was
an
arcade beat 'em up
arcade game.
What was it called?
Great game, but
it was a great game.
My other one is The Sims, in kind of a similar theme to letting down digital women. My brother and I would just play so much Sims and build, like, you know, we had one house that was the Girls Gone Wild house that was all Viber beds and, you know, blondes, and, you know, we figured out all the different, like, cheats and, like, had things floating in the, like, we played a ton of it. So I think, so dating Sims and The Sims are kind of my guilty pleasure.
So anything with ladies is Trey's guilty pleasure. Any game that you can disappoint a woman, Trey's ready to go.
Any game where I can digitally disappoint women. Well, because, like, my whole strategy for The Sims was, right, so you have to, like, the number of relationships in the family helps determine the career path, right?
Yeah.
And so what I would do is I would have one person stay at home and end up with romantic relationships with everyone in the neighborhood.
You made a whore.
So one person...
Did this person that stayed home get paid for that?
Well, I mean, the other person was kind of the breadwinner and would come home. And
Johnny Sims left $100 on your dresser. Or 100 simoleons.
Simoleons, let's be clear. And so, like, there was always this careful balance of, like, making... Because, like, you want to get to the point where you can make out with that person, then your relationship's at 100%, and then you don't have to deal with them for several days, and then you can call them back and make out with them again, and then build up that relationship very quickly. It's a very efficient and immoral way to play the game.
Or whatever they say.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, why didn't one? And so there's a careful balance of, like, figuring out when my spouse was going to come home to, like, send my lover, the entire neighborhood worth of lovers away so that I wouldn't also then destroy the relationship with my spouse. This may explain my high school years.
Oh, Trey.
Looking back on it.
I have nothing to say. I can't even, like...
So this is just turning into a confession hour for me.
Okay, Trey. So let's talk about your modern...
Let's unpack that.
Let's unpack that statement.
I'm fine. Really. So, Jimmy, what's new with you?
So I'm reaching that point in my life again where I'm like, you know what? I really want a Windows 8 tablet.
You keep coming back
and also,
to this.
I'm still pissed at Pebble, but it's the same pissedness.
Well, no, they just keep being completely unable to ship a thing. Which is fascinating for a device company that relies on shipping things.
Yeah, they make money by selling me things. Also, they will not allow me to cancel my order, which is also fascinating.
No, you bought it, so fuck you.
Jimmy, you sure this isn't the Nigerian prince again?
You know,
hey, remember that time you sold an iPad to a Nigerian prince?
Did actually sell an iPad to Nigeria?
No, let me rephrase it. Remember the time you gave an iPad to a Nigerian prince?
Okay, yeah. I sold an iPad, except I never received payment.
Right. So, did this happen again? Did you actually click a link to pebble.com or whatever the URL is?
Pebble.co.nj or whatever Nigeria's web address.
No. So I think that their website is a little overzealous because their website is getpebble.com. Fuck you, I have not gotten my Pebble yet.
It's not you're getting Pebble, it's just get Pebble. Eventually you will get Pebble.
You got pebbled.
I got pebbled.
You got pebbled is what happened.
But enough on my Pebble problems.
So tell me more about these Windows 8. Which one?
I want to know about the Pebble problems.
Okay, I'm still looking at the thing I can't decide is whether or not a stylus and an 8-inch tablet is something that I should be looking for.
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
this coming from Trey, the one with an 8-inch tablet.
And I'm literally waiting on the stylus product, the Jesus of stylus products.
What is the Jesus?
The Mighty Pen.
The Mighty Pen.
Because we're looking for a stylus for Kathleen's iPad.
Mighty Pen. The Adobe Mighty Pen.
Mighty Pen is going to be the one, but it's going to be expensive. Like
Neo. The other one to look at
money is no object with me. I do 2 podcasts, which means I'm rolling in it, son.
I do 4. You think
the
I'd be
other one is the pencil by the people that make the paper app.
Yeah, the pencil by Paper 53.
Okay.
That's another one to look at. I mean, that's the one I keep almost
It's not
buying.
expensive.
It's $50. $50. 50 or 60.
And you get all of the. So it's a $10. It's a free to use app, and you get. You can buy different brushes, and colors and things like that.
The pencil device unlocks all of the tools within that app, and it's like I've played with it a little bit. I really like it. It's the one I keep almost buying, and then going, no, Trey, wait for the Mighty Pen. No, Trey, wait for the Mighty Pen keeps not happening, and I'm like, damn, because I really like. I draw a lot of like wiring diagrams and thoughts and.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Mighty Pen is better from a technical perspective as far as like what you're really going for is precision. But I think that the pencil is better for like more of a free form.
Well, I just want to see, because even the pencil still has some input lag,
right,
which to me is just the bane of everything. It is also what currently kills the Oculus and a few other things is input lag. So I want to see if the pencil is worth it in that because they've said they've solved the input lag issue. And if they have actually done that, I don't believe them. But if they have actually done that...
They've not actually given a product to journalists for them to use. Right. So I don't believe them.
So until like we can get our hands on this thing and review it fully, like I don't trust it. But that's the one I'm waiting on.
Yeah, the best solution thus far is the ones that actually have the Wacom
layer, digitizing layer built in the screen, which is the Surface Pro, and is presumably the tablet you are waiting on.
Well, yeah, so the thing I want Dell to update their Venue Pro.
Good luck with that.
To make it not shit. Well, let me rephrase that. Less not shit. I want an upgraded... Okay, so the one that I like right now is the ThinkPad tablet. The Lenovo ThinkPad tablet. It's a
little chunky, but I mean, it's a heck of a thing.
No, I mean, it's okay. It's a little chunky.
It's a Lenovo tablet. It's a little chunky.
It's not really chunky, though. Like, if you think about it, it's thin. It's as thin as all the rest of the ones that are on the market. It has an aluminum finish.
Yeah. It's a heck of a device.
It has a good build quality. It's a Lenovo pitched at the business market thing. It's gonna last for a while. It has a 1920 by 1200 display. Like, it has all of the things. The one problem though is it does not have a digitizer, right. And that's the one compromise that they made on the device.
So,
in order to hit that price point,
what is Lenovo planning on releasing one with the digitizer? I can't remember.
Okay, so not with the ThinkPad. They'll probably release I can't remember what the consumer one was.
IdeaPad? It's usually IdeaPad.
Yeah, it might be IdeaPad. Well, they also had like one that was like the Mix 2, which was the 10-inch one. I can't remember what the 8-inch one was. They had a couple of different names for these things, but they haven't updated the consumer model yet.
Well, I mean, at some point they will, but I think to a certain extent you can always be waiting in technology, right? Like that's always
like
if you
Pebble.
Always if you wait, like not jumping in the smartwatch game just yet or whatever. Always if you wait, things will get better. But
the smartwatch game is also very young right now, so like waiting certainly does not hurt you.
True. I mean, I don't know.
Sometimes it's forced waiting, but
Yeah.
I mean, to a certain extent, maybe having an 8-inch tablet is better on waiting on the perfect 8-inch tablet. Says the man with an 8-inch. I mean, says the man who now has an 8-inch tablet.
Right. Well, and my thing is, if I had one,
I love it.
If I had one with an integrated stylus, what I really want is I want to see if Microsoft is going to release an 8-inch Surface.
Yeah, they will, but it's not going to be until the fall at this point.
And I don't know if I can wait that long.
Or it might even, it may even be in conjunction with Windows 9.
But mine, it's as I go more and more to with work, as I go more and more to site visits and doing meetings and things like that, having printouts of things is just really stupid to me.
Okay,
and I want to be able to have a digital input.
So I'm going to say something.
If you say the Sony thing, I'm going to slap you.
Oh no,
Azure Cloud.
It's worse than that. I'm going to say something.
And
I'm going to regret saying this, but if you're really interested in the drawing thing specifically, Samsung has a product.
The Note thing? The Note Pro
thing.
13-inch thing?
I was just thinking more like the Note 10. But, I mean, Samsung has a product that fills this bill with the Wacom digitizing layer.
Well, there's a bunch of them. And the real question is Windows compatibility something I care about? Or, like, even if I go over to Android, I get, like...
Well, I mean, you live within the Google ecosystem.
I do,
so
actually.
For me, like, getting an Android
Google
tablet...
Now are buddies.
I mean, like, for me, going over to the Android ecosystem is like, why would I do that? I live in the Apple. I live in all the things powered by Azure Cloud. I live in the Apple ecosystem, and I live in the Windows world. And I use some Google services, mostly search. But I don't really touch the Android world. So for me, it doesn't make any sense. The iPad Mini with the Mighty Pen is probably the right way to go until someday I get a Surface Pro.
I mean, my thing right now is that I kind of want to wait on the Nexus 10, the new Nexus 10. There's going to be one eventually. But at this point, it's been almost a year and a half. When did the Nexus 10 come out?
I don't know. That was one of those kind of stealth releases that I'm not sure I remember. So, I know, if digitized input is actually what you're looking for, you may actually have to go Samsung. And then if Windows does a thing, then, you can sell your Samsung for no money because they never hold their value and suck it up and buy another one. That's kind of where it is.
I guess that is fair. Well, and I kind of... Yeah, I mean, I really like the Lenovo one because the form factor and the size and all of those things. And I'm still convinced that is a better... Because I have a laptop, but the laptop is too heavy and too large to take places.
Sure.
And use.
No, I mean, for me... Assuming you're using an 8-inch tablet as a reader, an 8-inch tablet is perfect. It's when, and maybe as a note taker if you can get solve the input lag digitizing problem. But beyond that, I mean, it has to be like super limited, and in that super limited way, it's great.
Yeah, and so then my other thing is, do I go to a 10-inch? Tablet? I
generally think those are too big, but again, I'm not trying to do the same kind of
because I want more input.
Right. So then maybe then it is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, but I don't want a Note. Those things are freaking
plastic and awful. Yeah.
By the way, the Nexus 10 CNET's review date was November 2nd, 2012.
I don't think I guess they didn't refresh it in 2013.
Yeah, no, they didn't refresh it in 2013. And I mean, it's still not it's still not crap.
No, but it doesn't have the digitizing layer that you want. Then you
have you're right. It does not.
You're kind of in terms of what's out with the digitizing layer. You can get a Surface Pro if you want to spend $1,000.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you'll get a heck of a thing for $1,000 that will actually replace that now year and a half old netbook you have.
It's not a netbook. Fuck you.
No, she's an Ultrabook.
That's right. It's got Ultra in it.
Ultra. So the 18-month-old Ultrabook you've got, you can replace that with a Surface Pro. Has the digitizing layer, has the full Windows support.
They solved the battery problem, which was the reason why I didn't get it originally
with Haswell. So it's a heck of a thing. Now you're paying.
Oh, at this point you wait. No. If I'm replacing, if I'm replacing the Yoga with something, I'm going to wait at least 6 months.
Wait until the processor generation
rolls over and we get an updated Surface with the new processor in it.
Fine. Then wait 6 months. In November, they'll refresh the Surface and
I don't
buy
believe
that.
Buying computers in April.
No, it's absolutely... You buy Macs in May, and you buy everything else in November.
Well, no, new Macs don't get released till June, usually.
Usually May, June, they refresh the processor.
Yeah. Whenever that refresh happens, you do that, and you buy PCs in the fall.
And kind of back to school into...
Yeah, when everything is...
Into Christmas.
Yeah, if you're going for the deals, you want to do it...
back to school.
In August.
Yeah. Because that's when they're dumping the stock of last year's processor. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you want my honest opinion, I would wait till they refresh the Surface Pro line and get the Surface Pro 3.
Yeah, and it has the stylus in it.
And it is kind of... If you're looking for one device that you actually want to be able to get work done on, that has a digitizing layer, all of the above, there is only one device that does that all together, and it's the Surface Pro.
And as you know, I have a setup that I don't need power in my mobile setup.
But this is, beyond Core i5.
Right. Beyond a normal amount of power. I have
you don't
for
have
any
my
hardcore
weird
stuff. Yeah, I don't have I need a
quad-core laptop.
Quad-core graphics rendering machine that also is less than 5 pounds.
Well, mine's 5.5 pounds, but I'm going to fix that the next 18 months and get a Retina Pro. Woo! Yeah. So, kind of transitioning off of tablets and onto gaming systems, I recently I mentioned this in the show kind of in passing last week, but I've become a PS3 owner. I know, PS 3 and the PS4 is out, but now's the best time.
There's 4.
I bought...
Also, really? You waited until after, like...
Yep, I did. Keep in mind, like, this is only the second PlayStation product I've ever owned. My first one being the Vita, which I love, but doesn't have any games I want on it, except for Persona 4 Golden. Love that game. So I finally, I'm a cord cunner at my other residence out in the country where I work, and so
at your country estate,
my country estate at the parsonage, and I found the 12 gigabyte model, so the super basic model for $150 used. That was a pretty good price, right? And there's just a bunch of what I've been realizing over the past kind of 2 years is that there's just a whole bunch of PlayStation exclusives that I really want to play. The whole Uncharted series, Ni no Kuni.
That was your problem last year, if I remember correctly.
It's my problem last year, and I kind of have a lull in the games I'm interested in. I'm not a Dark Souls 2 guy.
Oh, crap. I need to buy that.
Yeah, you do. I'm not an Elder Scrolls Online guy, and so, for me, the next major game release, I'm not a Titanfall person, so, like, for me, I'm waiting on Watch Dogs, and that's not till the end of May.
Yeah.
So, I kind of have this huge lull in games I'm interested in. I'm playing my way through Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, but that's only like 2 hours. And so now seems like the perfect time to start playing through, like, all the Uncharted's, Ni no Kuni, Beyond Two Souls, Heavy Rain, these kind of real narrative-driven PS3 exclusives that I've been interested in for a long time. And so I'm kind of like 75% way through the first Uncharted, and I'm really enjoying it. Turns out that's a really good game.
Well, have you played any of the Uncharted's on the Vita?
I did. I mean, there was the one on the Vita, and I played it. It was called Uncharted Golden Abyss. It wasn't made by Naughty Dog. It was made by another Sony owned studio. So it wasn't great, but it got me interested in the Uncharted series. I really enjoyed my time with it.
It made you like Nathan Drake, the Assassin's Creed.
Well, I mean, it's
Adventure.
Oh God, what's his name?
Indiana Jones.
I mean, it's
Nolan
the same.
North?
Nolan North, thank you.
The guy who does every voice ever.
Every voice ever. So it's the same voice that does the guy in Assassin's Creed. It's the same guy that does the voice in Spec Ops: The Line. Like, you can go to, like, pretty much anyone that wants, like, that Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford, Han Solo style character will be voiced by Nolan North.
Deadpool has a really cool thing where you can make your voice Nolan North, and it's Nolan North. It's not Deadpool. It's Nolan North talking about how he's Nolan North.
That's awesome. So, and Nolan North kind of has a cool sense of humor about himself. He kind of realizes he's in every game.
He's typecast because he's the video game voice guy.
But he also does just like a lot of background voice work that you never even know is Nolan North. He's a remarkably talented dude, and he kind of looks like Nathan Drake, but he's a lot older. I mean, he's kind of in his 40s, and Nathan Drake is vaguely late 20s.
What is that face, Jimmy?
I'm looking at his IMDb.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he's like in every game.
Titanfall?
He's in Titanfall. Yeah. I mean, he's in everything. That man works.
He gets paid.
Man, that man has found a way to make a living as a voice actor in video games. And, like, for a long time, Giant Bomb had an annual award called the Northie. So, for the best use of Nolan North. So, it'd be like, the nominees are Nolan North for Assassin's Creed, Nolan North for Uncharted, and congratulations to Nolan North for winning, whatever was the best use of Nolan North.
Let's see, we have Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, Arkham Origins.
Yeah, he's literally in everything.
Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Yep.
Skylanders Swap Force.
Wow.
Nolan North.
No, keep talking. I want to see.
Nickelodeon Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game.
Oh my
god. Call of Duty Origins.
Yep.
Saints Row 4.
Yep.
Dota 2.
Dota 2?
Deadpool.
If he is a Dota 2 announcer, that would be awesome.
Brewmaster Earth Spirit Gyrocopter / voice.
He played
The
voice.
Last of Us. Marvel Heroes.
Oddly enough, he's not Joel, though. He's not the main character. That's the same guy that was in Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah, no, he was the same guy.
So Joel and Booker are the same voice actor.
It's really, really annoying.
The two best story-driven games of last year. Silence you. The two best story-driven games. Look, I too love Assassin's
Star Trek
Creed
Into
4
Darkness,
Black
too,
Flag. Also contains Nolan North.
Yes.
I think he was in Mass Effect too. Like, he's in everything.
He was in the
Look,
Nolan
I'm
North
still in
game.
2012, man, okay?
Yeah.
Black Ops 2, Assassin's Creed 3.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's
All
Desmond.
Creed, yes.
Desmond. Who is Desmond? Nolan North is the answer to that question.
He's also dead.
Yeah, Desmond is actually, probably, spoiler alert, it's been more than 6 months.
Yeah.
No spoiler alerts.
That happened in Assassin's Creed 3, Jimmy.
Well, exactly. No, that's why, like, it's not a spoiler alert. Screw you people.
Screw you, Desmond's dead. Yeah. And honestly, if we can get rid of Desmond in the Power Rangers, thanks Danny O'Dwyer for that name. Desmond Miles in the Power Rangers.
That was when he was talking about the Black Flag coming back, right?
Right.
And
yeah.
we got rid of Desmond and the Power Rangers.
Desmond's Power Rangers. That actually comes from the episode of Escape from Mount Stupid that explains the history of the Assassin's Creed series.
Oh, I need to watch that one.
It's really funny. It's recorded right before 3 comes out. But it is really interesting and kind of tracked.
Oh, that's the one where he wears, like, the hoodie, right?
Yes, right. He wears the Assassin's Creed hoodie.
Yeah, I've actually watched that one. I'll have to go back and watch it again.
Danny O'Dwyer is another person we need to get on this show.
Friend of the show.
I would love for Danny O'Dwyer.
So we're going to have Danny O'Dwyer and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Except I will not be able to...
And Nolan North.
I'll have to be there in person if he's on the show because I will not understand him remotely.
Danny O'Dwyer, you can't. I'll provide subtitles for you. I can understand Danny perfectly fine. You racist bastard.
Right, so,
that was like with the Xbox One. Can the Xbox One understand foreign accent?
And it could not handle his Irish brogue.
It could not understand the Irish woman or the Scottish lass or the...
That's pretty funny. It is prejudiced against British people. But I mean, I've been really enjoying the PS3.
And you even bought the crappy one. So
I bought the crappiest
impressive.
one possible. Mm-hmm. I don't like the controller as well as the Xbox 360, but I think that's a pretty universally shared sentiment.
I agree with that.
Those sticks are just too loose. I don't like a loose stick. I like a good tight stick. Yep.
Chugga.
It's not as quiet as I thought it would be. There's a lot of like disc read noise.
Yeah,
and I have the crappiest one, and so that
I think that's partially because you have the crappiest one.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. It's the most, it's the super slim. It's super plastic. It's a pretty awful build quality, but I don't care. I got it for $150.
Some people obviously bought them.
Well, I mean, I really like it. Like, I don't care. Like, I was purposely buying the crappiest one because I didn't want to have to be able to install games. I just wanted to be able to play used games on disc. That's my whole point with this. Is like to cheaply play through the few back catalog of PS3 exclusives that I'm really interested in, and then I'll sell it. Like I'm not attached to this thing. But honestly, like we go back and forth about who's better, Xbox One or PS4. I think it's pretty clear the PS3 is graphically slightly superior to the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
If you just look at exclusives. So like I loaded up Halo ODST. And I loaded up Uncharted 1, and those graphics, like, obviously it's apples to oranges slightly, but, man, that PS3 pumps out some pixels. Mm-hmm. That is a good-looking system, graphically.
Well, and it was even, when you got towards the end of the generation, the PS3 was the one that was able to really render that stuff in the way that the Xbox 360, like, would have the pop-in graphics problems.
God, the pop-in.
Yes.
Remember when we were watching the intro for GTA 5?
Yes.
And it was just
yep, there it is.
Where's the texture? Where's the texture? Pop-in.
Because there was a little bit of it on the PS3 when I was playing it, but it wasn't horrible.
So bad on the 360. And I'm also I'll also play through The Last of Us. I played a little bit of it before Game of the Year. But I'll actually be able to sit down and play through it. And I'm really looking forward because apparently a lot of it is just Naughty Dog knows how to get stuff out of that system in a way that no one else does. But that's part of what makes them so awesome. So, we have been rambling on about things such as Schindler's Lust and wrestling, and I may now go get the WWE Network just so I can test it out because apparently it sounds awesome. But we should probably get out of here. Thank you so much for listening. Stay with us; it gets better from here, I promise. If you have any feedback,
Actually, no. Please don't email us
don't
email us
about
show.
Don't email us about Schindler's Lust. But if you have like your gaming guilty pleasure or your threes score, mine's in the 10,000s. If anyone has a higher than 10,000s three score, please email me because I want to understand how that's possible.
We'll send you a T-shirt. It won't have anything on it, but it'll be a T-shirt.
Currently, the highest score posted on the wall on Facebook is 9,870.
See, and mine's about 100 higher than that.
My high score.
Sydney is also claiming that it has become the website has become sentient because, I forgot to change it from text last call to me when I posted.
The website now also has a 3 score, but let's see if I can find it on my phone. But my top
pictures or it didn't happen.
I think
sure, okay, that's fine.
I think out of all of us, I have the highest score because I just don't play it, and therefore I have a life. And that's pretty nice.
Have a life, which is surprising. Load 3.
Steven, but what do you do in your life when you're standing in line?
So,
because I play threes.
Yeah,
I play threes while I'm taking a dump.
I needed that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't. Well, when I'm standing in line, I like to interact with the world. But while I'm taking a dump, you got to focus. You got to concentrate.
Here's my 3 score.
10,182.
I'm not on that screen.
Yes, but
that's for the people watching us on the interwebs.
All I get is screen. Steven can confirm I have
10,182.
That's my top 3
Swipe
score.
to see more.
That's my top 3 score. My number 2 3 score is 9,144. So I've never heard of. I'm not saying that I am some miracle at threes. I am actually a miracle at threes, but I'm not saying that necessarily. But I want to see someone with a higher score because I want to understand if it's possible to get multiple 384s on the same thing. That's what I really want to know. Because if that is, I'm going to keep questing until I can find it, and I can get it. Then you can get a score.
You're grinding in threes.
Questing.
Oh, questing.
Because it's not cumulative. Each game is its own thing. But I will keep training and striving like I used to do in Tetris.
You're the best.
This is the Rubik's Cube of the modern era.
No, this is the death of all productivity from this studio, is what it is, actually. And on that note, we really do need to get out of here. Podcast at textlesscall.com, facebook.com/textlesscall, pinterest.com/textlesscall, or at textlesscall on the Twitters. Good night.
Chugga, 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 chugga. Choo, choo. Let's go to bed.